You can assign most resources to your students to complete by a specific date. The assignment options will vary based on the type of resource you assign. Let's take a look at some of the options. There are resources that are graded with a score, like an interactive case study. And some resources that are graded as complete, like a video. And there are other resources that are ungraded, like a reading. There are two ways you can assign resources to your students. The first option is to assign a resource individually. Once you have filtered through the resources, select the Assign button next to the title of the resource you would like to assign to your students. A window will then appear with the options to create the assignment. The assignment name will be pre-populated with the resource title. However, you can edit and rename it. Please keep in mind that the name must be unique within a specific class and for each resource type. The points default is 100. You can choose how many times a student can retake the assignment. The default is set to unlimited. The other options are between 1 and 10 attempts. Once a student has reached the maximum number of attempts, then they will no longer be able to retake the assignment. You can also choose which grades will report to the gradebook. The highest grade is set as the default, and it's the highest grade received based on the number of attempts allowed by the designated due date. The other options are the average grade, which is the average of the grades received for each submission attempt by the due date. The first attempt, which is the student's first submission attempt. And the last attempt, which is the student's last submission attempt, based on the number of attempts allowed and the due date. The Highlight Late Submissions box will be checked by default. If you leave this box checked, then in the gradebook you will see a highlight applied to student scores that were submitted after the due date. Select Continue. You can assign the same assignment to multiple sections and with different due dates. Designate the assignment's due date by selecting the calendar icon. And the selected due date will display on the content item. Select the clock icon to change the time. You can choose when students can access your assignment. The default is set to immediately, which means the content item is visible and accessible to your students. The other option is to select a custom date and time. The default for the time zone is set to the class time zone, which was set up when you added the class. The time zone can be changed by selecting a new time zone in the drop-down list. Please note, if you change the time zone, it will be specific to this assignment. Once you have selected your options, select Continue. A confirmation page will display the settings for the assignment. If you need to make additional changes, select the Back button. Once you have reviewed and are satisfied with the options you have chosen, then select Assign. It will add the content resource to the assignments page. The second option is to assign by skill. Under a topic, select the skills link. Then select Assign next to the skill you would like to assign to your students. You will see the option to create a batch assignment for all the resources within that skill. In a batch assignment, all the activities are due on the same date for a given course section. The skill batch assignment will include a mix of graded and ungraded activities. You can see the activities that will be assigned for this skill. Select Continue. You can select the number of attempts allowed, and which grade reports to the gradebook. Highlight Late Submission for gradebook is checked by default. Select Continue. You can assign the same batch assignment to multiple sections and with different due dates. Select when students can access the assignment. Once you have selected your options, select Continue. A confirmation page will display the settings for the selected activities. If you need to make additional changes, select the Back button. Once you have reviewed and are satisfied with the options you have chosen, then select Assign. The assigned activities for the skill will be grouped together on the assignments page.